Hi everybody, I'm here with your real estate market update for March of 2024. So number one, what are prices doing right now? To get right into the numbers, right now we're down 5.4% in median sales price from this time last year and 9% from the peak in 2022. So why? Well, we all know that interest rates went up last year and that did cause interest in real estate to wane a little bit. But at the same time, we did finish the year pretty strong. Well, I have two theories on this and thankfully they're both backed in stats. Reason number one, we got all of our crappy weather in January and February and our spring market is heavily influenced by the weather. This isn't just conjecture, and yes, I actually did look it up. So today, I'm not only a realtor, I am also a weatherman.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Where are your parents?
Aside from last year, the year of ever-increasing interest rates, the slowest January on record in the last 10 years was 2015. And you guessed it, it was the snowiest. The second snowiest January on record in the last 10 years, you guessed it again, it was this year. Which was also the third slowest January for sales that we've had in the last 10 years outside of last year and the aforementioned 2015. Now, I have to admit that this is something that I always kind of preach to my sellers, but I didn't really know for sure what the numbers look like. So I figured, you know, why not? I'm going to talk about it on video. And I looked up the Canada stats, compared it to our historical sales. And what I found is that when we get a January, especially heading into February, where we get 30 millimeters or more of precipitation and sub-zero temperatures, well, yeah, you guessed it, we get a delayed start to the spring market. So for simplicity, I devised a math formula that I think even Albert Einstein would be in awe of. And it goes like this. Real estate sales equals the 10-year average minus 25% if precipitation in January is above 30 millimeters. I know, super complex. I mean, you get it though. Basically, if we have a snowy, cold January, we anticipate that the early spring market will perform about 25% below the 10-year average. And that is exactly what we saw this year. And that cold, as we know, only relented for periodic moments throughout February. And as a result, it affected our February market as well. February this year actually had the lowest number of sales out of any February in the last 10 years, at 226 residential sales for the entire central Okanagan. Now, the good news is that the weather is on the cusp of improving. Just next week, we're anticipating temperatures as high as 15 degrees, and thank God, because I'm tired of the winter. And with that improvement in the weather will also come an improvement in the real estate market. It always does.
Nice.
In fact, every year for the last 10 years, we've seen prices and number of sales increase significantly from January to June, with the exception of 1 year, of course, being 2022, the year of ever-increasing interest rates. And this leads me perfectly to my next point of significance for what we expect for the market this year, which is interest rates.
Boring.
Now, I'm not going to bore you and waste time talking about something you already know. You know what happens when you make borrowing money more expensive and what that does to real estate.
Now that's a lot of damage.
Now, the thing is, we'd hope to see interest rates come down this spring. Unfortunately, they haven't yet. And in tomorrow's announcement, we're not expecting them to either. So you're probably watching this after that announcement. That's fine. Maybe I was wrong. The point is that we're likely going to see rates hold between now and sometime towards the end of summer, early fall. And by the end of the year, hopefully, we'll see rates come down somewhere between 1 and 1.5%. That's the general consensus. But what you want to know is what's going to happen between now and then? What's going to happen between now and before the rates start going down while the rates are stable? Well, the good news is that we don't have to look far. We only have to look to last year. So this is likely going to be the most shocking thing I'm going to say in my video today. But last year, between January and June, we actually saw the median price increase 10%. And during that time, rates did not go down, they simply held the line. Now, of course, we then saw rates increase towards the end of June, and that consequently led to prices dropping for a few months last year. Overall, though, last year performed fairly decently.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
So what do we expect this year? Well, admittedly, I did cherry pick the data a little bit because January last year was a considerably low month for the median sale price. So that does make it look like prices went up significantly at that 10% between January and June. Now, if I take that out of the equation, really overall, we saw a median price increase somewhere around 5%. I expect that's what we're going to see this year in our spring market. Now, maybe you don't believe me, maybe you don't want to believe me. That's fine. You don't have to look very far for proof of this. Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, those are leading indicator markets for our market, meaning that what happens in those markets subsequently happens in our market usually a few months later. And those markets right now are absolutely on fire.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so enough about the facts. What am I feeling about the market right now? What am I seeing when I'm out there in my general day-to-day? What I've been noticing a little bit more of a trend of lately, and by no means is this the norm, it's the exception, but I am seeing it pick up a little bit more, is sellers listing their properties just a little bit above fair market value, sort of in anticipation of where they hope that the spring market values will be. Now this is fine, I understand not wanting to leave any money on the table, but this becomes problematic when you look at the other side of the equation. And that is that buyers are just feeling a little bit more patient right now. They're not feeling that panic, that need to overpay, because they're hopeful that they're going to see listing inventory pick up over the next few weeks and to have more options to choose from. And I really do think that they will. If you're thinking about selling your home this spring, the important thing is that you price your home in accordance with where values currently are, not where you're hoping they're going to be in 2 to 3 months.
Do it! Just do it!
Because right now buyers aren't feeling overly motivated. They're not feeling panicked anyways to pay a premium for a home because they're hopeful that things will improve for them in the coming weeks. And I think that they really will. What this means is that you need to price your home at a point where it's attractive so that your agent can receive offers and then negotiate the very best possible deal they can for you in this current market. Because if you price your home at a premium and in hopes of the market then reaching where you are in price, what that means is you're spending more time on the market. And we all know the longer your home takes to sell, the less it's going to sell for. And my message to the buyers out there, if you are hopeful that things will improve for you, I really think that they will. I think you'll see more options pop up in the near future. But don't overlook the ones that are currently on the market just the same. Just because a seller is asking a premium for a property doesn't mean that there isn't motivation there. If you've already seen the home that you like, don't be afraid to write an offer on it and see if you can negotiate a deal for you that makes sense.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's it for this market right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the update. I'll have another one to you next month, but as we currently stand, the market is a little bit quiet at the moment, but I do anticipate we'll see it pick up in the next few weeks. And I think with our next update, I'll have more positive news about the market being a little bit more robust. Until next time.